We can now start again the question. So we have gone through the question where they wanted you to calculate earnings before interest and tax, and the earning per share at the point of indifference in the firm's earnings after financing option 1 and option 2. So let us now analyze the question. When you check through the first paragraph, I want you to check through the first paragraph. You can see in the first paragraph, there is 150 million in the 15% debentures. Then you can also see 450 million in what? In the ordinary share. So by that point, it means that company is equity and debt financed. Ordinary shares represents equity. Then the debentures will represent the debt. So that company all along will be equity and debt financed. So as we analyze option 1, the firm is equity. It is equity and debt. So it is equity and debt. So when it is equity and debt financed firm, so earning per share for that option 1 will be given by earnings before interest and tax. We subtract interest, then 1 minus the tax rate. We divide by the number of the ordinary share. We divide by the number of the ordinary shares. So we start off by computing interest. So to calculate interest, you can see in the current capital structure. In the current capital structure, there is 15% debentures, but that amount is 150 million. So it will be 15% of 150 million. But under option 1, are you able to see the amount they were supposed to raise? The finance manager of Donald Limited intends to raise an additional 20 million to finance an expansion program. So there is that 20 million that is supposed to be raised. So under option 1, they issue a 12% debenture stock to raise that amount. So apart from the one they are currently paying, now you also take the 12%. The 12% of the amount you want to raise. You can see the figure they want to raise, it is 20 million. So they have been currently paying this 15% of 150 million. But they want to raise another 20 million, where they will pay interest at 20%, 12%. So you add them together now to give you the total interest that you'll be paying under option 1. To get now the total interest they will be paying under option 1. Exactly 24 points. So 24.9 million. Then there is also the number of the ordinary shares. There is also the number of the ordinary shares. So for the number of the ordinary shares, we just go to the current capital structure. There is 450 million in the ordinary shares at its 20 per value. So you simply take 450 million, but one share it is going at 20 shares. So that will now be able to give you the total number of the ordinary shares under that particular option. So that should give us 22.5. So earnings before interest and tax, we don't know it. We are looking for it. It is one of the items we are supposed to follow. Then we less interest. Your interest is 24.9 million. Then 1 minus 0.3. We divide by the number of the ordinary shares. So under the number of the ordinary shares, it is supposed to be 22.5 million. So you can see the last part of the question, 30%. Yeah, so the corporate tax is 30%. That's 1 and that's 0.3. So we want to open the brackets. I want us to open the brackets. So for us to open the brackets, it is 1 minus 0.3, which is 0.37. So when I multiply 0.7 by the earnings before interest and tax, it will give me 0.7 earnings before interest and tax. Also take 0.7 multiplied by 24.9. Sorry. 17.40. Are we all getting that figure?
Yeah.
Let me divide by 23 points. So that equation, we just need to that equation, we leave it like that. We also create the one for option 2. So this one, we leave it the way it is, so that we go to the one for option 2. So we go now the one of option 2. So let us also check now for the option 2. So option 2, under option 2, the farm will still remain. The farm will still remain equity and debt financed. Equity and debt financed. Equity, debt financed. So earning per share. Earning per share for option 2. It is still given by earnings before interest and tax. We subtract interest. Then 1 minus the tax rate. Then we divide by the number of the ordinary shares. So we start off by calculating interest. We start off by calculating interest. So this time around, interest is only what they are currently paying. So you see under option 2, you raise the 20 million, they have said they do it. They issue additional ordinary shares of shillings 20 per value. Of shillings 20 per value. So we only pay the current interest. To raise the new capital, this time they are giving ordinary shares. So the current interest is the 15% of 150 million. You see the current one? Yeah, so interest will simply be the 15% of the 150 million. Interest will simply be the 15% of the 150 million, which should be amount 22.5. Then number of the ordinary shares. Number of the ordinary shares. We simply take what is currently there. It was how much? 450 millions. Right by 20. Then we add. So you see they are raising now how much from the ordinary shares? 20 million. But the bar value per share is how much? It is also 20 million. Yeah, so now you add them together. You get the total number of the ordinary shares under option 2. You get the total number of the ordinary shares under option 2. So now the question will be earnings before interest and tax. We subtract interest, which is 22 from the 5 millions. Then we minus 1, minus properties. Then the number of the ordinary shares are how many? Correct. Okay, so when you multiply 22.5 by 12%, 7, 15.7 minutes. Then you also divide by us. So we now have the two equations. We now have the two equations. So in our two equations, it is that earnings per share for option 1 is equal to earnings per share for option 2. So the formula for option 1, we had it there. 0.7 earnings before interest and tax. We subtract 17.4 million. Also divide by 22.5 minutes. Should now be equal to this formula for option 2, which is supposed to be 0.7 earnings before interest and tax. We also subtract 2.75 minutes. Then divide by 3.5 minutes. So we cross multiply and make earnings before interest and tax to be the subject. So you cross multiply. So give me around which here? 70? 78.9. 70. Online, I've seen 91.75. So someone has given me online that figure. So it should be 70. And no one else online who has completed so that we compare. I've seen 78.9. Yeah, 2 people have confirmed 78.9. I hope it is 78.9. We are all getting 78.9. Are there people who are lost? So that we confirm for them. Is everyone okay with that figure? You cross multiply. When you cross multiply, it should be 23.5 meters in the brackets of 0.7 earnings before interest and tax. Then we subtract 17.43 meters. Then you also cross multiply the other way, 22.5 meters in the brackets of 0.7 earnings before interest and tax, 15.75 meters to that. So when you multiply this by this, those are multiplied 16.45 millions earnings before interest and tax. You also multiply this by this, which is supposed to give us 409.605. So then also multiply this by this. 15.75 millions earnings for interest and tax. You also multiply this by that. 354.37. So we want now to correct the like term. So this one to cross to come the same. Then this one will also go cross to the other side. So when we do that, when this one process, it becomes our negative. Yeah. When this one also comes out, so it will be 409. We also minus. So this one, when you subtract, you are getting 0.7 millions earnings before interest and tax. And then this one should give you 15. So we make earnings before interest and tax to be assignment, whereby we get 55.23 millions divided by 0.7 millions. So finally, it will give us which figure? That means 8.9 million. Yeah, so that is now your earnings before interest and tax at the point of indifference. We now compute the earning per share at the point of indifference. Let us now compute the earning per share at the point of indifference. So we simply use the formulas that we have to get the earning per share at the point of indifference. We can now use the formula that we have just made to get the earning per share for each. So earning per share for option 1. Earning per share for option 1 will be given by 0.7 multiplied by earnings before interest and tax, which is 78.9 million. I'm using this first one minus 70.43 million divided by 22.5 million. So that is earning per share for option. We also use the formula for option 2 also to get the same. Also required to use now the formula for option 2 also to see how to get the same. So confirm the 2. Confirm the 2 whether they are giving you the same earning per share. So at the point of indifference, the trade should give you the same value. Getting on each figure. Exactly 1.68. Yeah, so that was now the requirement for that particular question. At the point of indifference, the earning per share for the 2 option should be the same. Also, at the point of indifference, the earning per share, the earnings before interest and tax will be the same. So we need to check now another question. We can now question. So the next question, you can check September 2015, it is a pilot paper. September 2015. There is a question number 1, part B. September 2015. There is a question number 1, part B. So go to page 68. Mine is on page 68, but you can also confirm. Maybe there is a question number 1, part B. There is a question number 1, part B. The question. The one for MM Company Limited. MM Company Limited is contemplating raising additional finance for an expansion program. So the company is considering shillings 50 million for this expansion program. So the company's existing capital structure is given below. So they gave you ordinary share capital. The bar value is 20. The total amount is 60 million. There is also 10% debenture capital. It is 25 million. There is also 12% preference share capital. It is 15 million. There is also reserves, which is 50 million. So 2 alternative financing options available to the company are given as follows. So the question is September 2015. There is a question number 1, part B. So you check on page 68. So they have given you the capital structure. Are you able to see ordinary share capital? 10% debentures. There is also 12% what? So that company is equity, debt, and preference shares finance as per that capital structure. When you check through that capital structure, it has ordinary share capital representing equity, 10% debenture capital, and also 12% preference share capital. So that means it is equity, debt, and preference shares financed. Then 2 alternative financing options. 2 alternative financing options available to the company are given as follows. So they gave you option 1, issue new ordinary shares at par to raise all the desired funds. Option 2, issue the new ordinary shares at par to raise shillings 30 million, and the balance will be raised through the issue of the 15% debentures. So the management are optimistic that this investment will enable the company to generate annual operating profit, whose forecasted values in different states of nature and their probability of occurrence are given as follows. So they gave you state of nature, probability, and operating profit. So the firm pays a corporate tax at a rate of 30%. So required Roman letter 1, determine the level of the expected operating profit and expected earning per share at the point of indifference between the firm's earnings under financing option 1 and option 2. Then Roman letter 2, determine the range of the expected operating profit within which each financing option will be recommended. Hint, a graph may be used to answer this question. But let us first check the Roman letter 1. They wanted you to get earnings before interest and tax and the earning per share at the point of indifference. So at the point of indifference, the earning per share for the 2 finance options will be the same. So we start off with option one. We start off with option one. So option one, the firm is equity. It is equity, debt, and preferred shares. The firm is equity, debt, and preferred shares financed loan. So when it is equity, debt, and preferred shares financed, the earnings per share for option one should be given by earnings before interest and tax. We subtract interest, then 1 minus the corporate tax. Then we subtract preference dividends, then we divide by number of shares. We divide by the number of ordinary shares. Divide by the number of ordinary shares. So to compute the earning per share, we shall first get the number of the interest. We shall first of all come after the interest. So to compute interest, are you able to see the current capital structure? On a 10% debenture capital. That total amount is 25 million. So consider 25 million. So we come up with 10% of 25 million. 10% of 25 million, which is supposed to give you here. Because option one, you can see under option one, they issue new ordinary shares to get all the desired fund. So interest is only what is currently there. So this will be 2.5. Will be 2.5 million. Then we should also compute the preference dividends. We should also compute the preference dividends. So for the preference dividends, we do the same. Are you able to see 12% preference share capital? Yeah, so we get 12% of 15 million. We get 12% of. So the other thing is to get the number of the ordinary shares. Number of the ordinary shares. So for the number of the ordinary shares, to get the number of the ordinary shares, you simply go to the capital structure. Are you able to see the 6 million? Divide by the bar value, which is how much? Then check in the first paragraph, how much were they considering to raise? Yeah. Then when you check under option one, to raise that capital, they have said they issue new ordinary shares at what price? You see the par price. The par price is the same as 20. So you add what they are raising as 50 millions. Divide by 20. The bar value is also 20 shares. So that you now get the number of the ordinary shares. You get 5.5. Yeah, so you get 5.5. So now after that, we go back to our equation. So earning per share for option one should be equal to earnings before interest and tax. We subtract interest. So interest is 2.1. 2.5 million. Then the corporate tax was given as 40% in the question. Remember, some question may even 40% to confirm the figure. So 30% is the same as 0.3. Then we also subtract the preference dividends. Preference dividends, we got 1.1. Then we now divide by the number of the ordinary shares, which is 5.5 million. So we open the brackets. You want now to open the bracket. So this one is 0.7. So 0.7 multiplied by this figure, you will get 0.7. $2.5 also multiplied by 0.7. 1.75. You also subtract 1.8. Then we divide by 5.5. So finally, it should be here. Minus 1.75 minus 1.8. 3 points. 3.55. Also divide by 5.5. So that equation, we leave it like that. We now analyze the equation. That equation, we leave it like that. We go for equation 2. We now check equation 2. And we now go to function 2. For even option 2, the firm still remains what? Equity, debt, and the preference shares. As you check the first capital structure, you see the first capital structure, that is what determines. That is what determines whether it is equity, debt, and preference shares financed. So, earning per share for option 2 will be given by earnings before interest arrears. We subtract interest, then like that. Also minus the preference. Then divide by number of the ordinary shares. The number of the ordinary shares. So we start again with calculating interest. We start again by computing interest. We start off by computing interest. So to get interest, get the one that they are currently paying. It is 10% of 25 minutes. 10% of 25 minutes. Then we also add. Go to option 2. Are you able to see option 2? issue new ordinary shares at par to raise how much? 30 million. And the balance will be raised to. So what will be the balance? Yeah, the amount they're supposed to raise is 50 million. You have seen that in the first paragraph. Then now, when it comes to under required, they have said under option 2, 30 should come from the owner. So you subtract 30 from 50, the balance is what is 20 million. But it is at what percent? Yeah, so get 15% of the 20 million. So when you add them, they should give you the interest. 5.5. Then also compute the preference. Also compute the preference dividend. Preference dividend has not been affected. You simply get 12% of 15 million. 12% of 15 million. So this should give us it. Then the other thing is now to calculate number of ordinary shares. So to get the number of the ordinary shares, currently it is 60 million divided by 20. Then we add 30 million. So 30 million they were issued shares at how much? 35. Yes. The bar is 20. That one should be reached 4.5. So now we create earning per share for option 2 should be equal to earnings before interest and tax. We subtract interest 5.5 million, then 1 minus 0. We subtract the preference dividend, which is 1.8. And then we also divide by 4.5. So when you open the brackets, it will be 0.4. Sorry, 0.7 earnings before interest and tax. So 5.5 multiplied by 0.7. 7. So it will be 0.7 earnings before interest and tax minus what? So once we have those figures, remember what we do next. We equate the two equations. We now equate the two equations. We now equate the two equations. now equate the two equations. At the point of indifference, earning per share for option one is the same as earning per share. So the one for option one was 0.7 earnings before interest and tax. We want to subtract how much? 3.55. 3.55. Then you are supposed to divide by what figure? 5 point. So this one 0.7 earnings before interest and tax minus 5.65. We also divide by 4, 5. So cross multiply and see the figure you get. And once you have done that, also get the earning per share for each so that you can plot them on the graph. So we are getting here. Earnings before interest and tax. 21.501. How about the earning per share? 2.1. Yeah, so we can now go to the Roman letter 2, where they wanted you to draw a graph. For you to draw a graph, you require 3 points. For you to draw a graph, you require 3 points. So the 3 points are, so the first, so we shall be earning before interest and tax. Then also earning per share for option 1. Also earning per share for option 2. So The first one you calculate for how much? The earnings before interest and tax. Because 21 points. 1.57. Yeah, so this is what gave you earning per share of 2.1 and also 2 points. And so I'm saying we require 3 points. This is one of them, the point of difference. So we require another one above and another one below. We require another one above and another one below. So the one above or below, the one below, just get a half of this. The one below, we get a half of 21.57. What is a half of 21.57? 10.79. 10.7. So when it is 10.79, substitute it for option 1. You see this one. You remember how you are calculating this one. Now, in that question 1, where there was earnings before interest and tax, replace this with that figure and see how much it will be. Point. Also for option 2, repeat the same for option 2, where there is this figure, replace it with that amount. .42. 0.42. So I said we require 3 points. One below this, another one above this, isn't it? So the one below we got a half. So the one above, add the half. This, that means you add this plus this to get the one above. I've said we require 3 points. This is the first one. The second one is below this by a half. The third one above this by a half. So it will be giving us 32. So also get the added per share for option 1. This one should be 3.78. So I want you to have those figures because I cannot be able to draw the graph now. I want to draw it in the next class, just in a brief way so that everyone can be able to understand. So we stop there, but have these figures. We shall now use them to draw the graph in our next class because the graph will be involved and I want it to be clear to everyone. So we stop there.
Si mimi tunapewa na Mola kushikia unakusakanya unarusha baada unarusha kwa pesa sasa yake Masaa.
Masaa kwenda. Sio kama kuna mwalimu. Kama kuna mwalimu hakuna haja ya kuharakisha.
Kuna mwalimu.